alien freaks out. You took human children, are you insane? The Academy of Interstellar Exchange prided itself on hosting cadets from 1,000 worlds. Future leaders, soldiers, and scholars sat in its lecture halls, breathing the same recycled air, learning the same history, and fumbling through the same awkward attempts at cultural understanding. The administrators thought they were building peace. Most days, it worked. Until the humans brought their children. The daycare incident. It started on an ordinary cycle. The bell chimed through the corridor, the scent of sterilized air mixed with the faint ozone tang of shuttle exhaust, and cadets shuffled into a xenobiology lecture. Crix, a young Thrillian with glossy black chitin, clattered into his seat. His antennae twitched nervously because sitting just one row down was the human contingent. Crix already found them terrifying. Their casual laughter sounded like predator growls, and their eyes, those forward-facing predator eyes, never softened. But today was worse. 2 human cadets walked in carrying younglings. Small, fragile, hair-covered creatures, barely a meter tall. They clutched odd cloth toys and peered around with wide, curious eyes. One child yawned, the other waved cheerfully at a hulking reptilian predator species as though it were a friendly pet. The reptile nearly fainted. Crix slammed his claws on the desk. You brought juveniles into the academy? Into the predator training grounds? His voice cracked into a high shriek. Are you insane? The lecture hall fell silent. Every alien turned to stare. The human cadet holding the youngest shrugged. What? We didn't have a sitter. The horror of the hall. Didn't have a sitter. Crix repeated, his antennae curling with panic. These are deathworld spawn. They'll die the moment something goes wrong. This place is dangerous. The human child wriggled out of the cadet's arms and toddled over to the largest predator in the room, a 4-meter-tall Kyresh with talons like knives. The Kyresh backed away, pressing itself against the wall as if cornered. The toddler squealed in delight. Kitty. The Kyresh whimpered. Gasps filled the room. Some species fainted outright. The human parents didn't move. They just grinned as if nothing were amiss. She likes making friends, one said. Fragility, or something else. Crix couldn't breathe. His brain hammered with one thought, humans are deranged. Your world is classified as a deathworld, he rasped. We studied the reports. Every square meter of your planet tries to kill you. Your children shouldn't survive a single day there, much less here. One of the human cadets chuckled. That's the thing. Our kids do survive there. The room turned. The other human added casually, back home, they learn to run before they can talk. They know how to climb before their bones fully harden. By the time they're 5, they've already survived falls, scrapes, stings, bites, burns, and worse. These 2. They're basically veterans compared to most cadets here. The children had now discovered the lectern. One had climbed it, balancing precariously, while the other was trying to pull a loose panel from the wall. The professor, a delicate 6-winged Syrinth, shrieked. Get them down at once. They'll die. The child on the lectern wobbled, slipped, then tucked into a roll and landed on the floor laughing. Again. Half the class fainted. The humans clapped politely. Nice landing, kiddo. Memories of home. Crix's mind reeled. He remembered his own youth, kept in armored nurseries, fed sterilized paste, monitored constantly until he was old enough to molt into a hardier form. If one of his clutchmates had fallen even a meter, the healers would have declared permanent damage. But the human child had leapt 2 meters down and come up grinning. What kind of species lets their fragile spawn suffer this? Crix whispered, horrified. The humans exchanged glances. For once, their humor dimmed. We don't have a choice, one said softly. On Earth, Everything sharpens you or kills you. Our kids learn pain is a teacher. They learn fear keeps you alive. They learn fast, or, he didn't finish. The silence that followed was heavier than any lecture. The demonstration. The children weren't done. The smaller one had somehow dismantled a holoprojector. Sparks flickered. Gasps rippled again. Stop. That device is unstable, the professor cried. Before anyone could move, the older child reached in, twisted 2 wires together, and the system stabilized with a hum. The human cadet ruffled the child's hair. Good instincts. That's basic field repair. Crix's mandibles gaped. They train them to handle volatile technology before adulthood. One human grinned. Before literacy, sometimes. The entire hall shuddered as understanding sank in. The outburst. Crix couldn't contain himself. He leapt from his seat, claws clattering on the floor. This is madness. You endanger everyone by bringing such creatures here. They will provoke predators, dismantle weapons, trigger catastrophes. No sane species entrusts its survival to reckless spawn. The human children froze. For the first time, their smiles faltered. They shrank back, eyes wide, like prey cornered. Then the larger human, the Admiral's daughter, Crix realized belatedly, stepped forward. Her voice was soft, but sharp as steel. You call them reckless, she said, but they're just human. What you call insane is what's kept us alive for millennia. You think we're careless? No. We just prepare earlier than you can imagine. Our children aren't sheltered because sheltering kills us. We throw them into the world because the world will throw worse back. Her gaze swept the silent chamber. You wanted to understand deathworlders. Look at them. That's where it starts. The children straightened, almost proud, as if her words wrapped them in invisible armor. The lesson. The lecture never resumed. Too many cadets were pale, trembling, or whispering among themselves. Later, in the dining hall, Crix heard fragments. They survive what we couldn't imagine. Children learning combat before speech. No wonder their adults terrify us. When Crix finally saw the humans leaving, children perched on their shoulders, laughing, unscarred, he understood something dreadful. Humans weren't terrifying because of their wars. They weren't terrifying because of their weapons. They were terrifying because this was normal for them. Even their children grew up learning what most species feared their whole lives. And if this was their beginning, what would their future hold? Crix shivered as the human girl waved goodbye.